So recently, we outside, as you can see, outside. Recently, I took a trip back to my hometown, and I was looking through my phone, and I realized that I don't have any pictures. I took a picture of trees. That's the only pictures I took. And this time going back home, it felt so different. The last few times I've returned home since I moved, it's definitely carried a lot of weight for me. And in hopes and expectations. And this time the difference was I had none of those things. I wasn't expecting anything. And it just felt different. It's hard for me to put into words what the experience was. But what it makes me want to talk about is letting go of the past. It's so challenging, and when people always say you gotta let go of the past, you gotta let go, it's so difficult because there's so much emotional and mental attachment to the past, so much attachment to our identity that we relate to the past. And for me, sometimes it's felt like if I let go of the past, I'm letting go of a part of my identity. And this time with going back home, I realized that that just doesn't hold true for me anymore. Letting go of the past, for me, makes me lighter and able to move forward. And going back home made me realize that I needed to do more work to let go of the past, to let go of hopes of past relationships. And by relationships, I'm not speaking of romantic relationships. I'm speaking of friendships and partnerships and family relationships. Hopes of me going back home and they see how much I've changed and they recognize or have some great epiphany and apologize to me, and I'm letting that go. I've been letting that go, and what I want to share is that letting go of the past is a process, and it really happens in stages. It's not something where you just decide that it's done and then magically it's go and it's happened and your past no longer has the weight that it once did. It's a continuous process. It happens in stages. It happens in phases and in waves. There's an ebb and flow to it. And I think that happens in order for us not to be in shock. Because letting go of the past, you have to reconcile with the losses. You have to reconcile with the fact that you may never get apologies. You have to reconcile and accept the fact that certain relationships need to be left behind in order for you to move forward in a good way. And it's also so important to let go of the past so that we don't project it onto what is being presented to us now in the present moment. And what I mean by that, by seeing a couple of similarities and someone new that you met and then they transform into the person from your past. and they're not. And you miss out on beautiful relationships and opportunities because you're clutching on to the past in a way that is not serving you. So in going back home, I realized that I have let go a lot of the past. And there's more that I want to release. So I encourage you to let go of the past and to reflect on the things that you might want to release yourself from. Because really, when we let go of the past, it's not about dismissing it or forgetting it. It's really about releasing yourself from the chains and the weight of it. So I hope that was helpful to someone. And take care. Oh, and look at me with the camera angle. Look, I turned my phone around this time. Take care.